Democrats are the party of lawlessness. They want to protect illegals. They want to protect criminals. They do not want to protect American citizens. They do not care about America. They care about the image. They want to look like they are for all people, when in fact they are doing so at the expense of law-abiding American citizens and law-abiding immigrants who have came here legally. Hi guys.
This has pretty much been explained.
Jonathon Daily. All right, first thing we're going to talk about the LA immigration riots. What's going on there? ICE raids and unrest. In early June, ICE conducted a series of raids in LA on June 6th, targeting workplaces, Home Depots, warehouses, and other sites. Home Depots. That's kind of funny. I'm sorry. It just is. Arresting dozens of undocumented individuals, some without criminal records. Of course, when you are doing raids of undocumented people, there's going to be some that are not criminals, except if they're undocumented, then they technically are criminals, are they not? It's a criminal violation. Which brings me to the irony of these riots and the immigration. We have Governor Newsom and California, and the state police essentially not helping at all, and then completely blaming the Trump administration for causing the havoc, when if they had just enforced the law in the first place, the Trump administration would not have to come in and essentially arrest all these people starting this uproar. They are blaming the Trump administration for enforcing federal law, and they're doing nothing to help. They could help. The state police and the state governor could help facilitate. They could help facilitate these arrests and make them more peaceful than they are, but they're not, because they just want the look of it. They want the Trump administration to look bad for making these arrests, and then to blame the violence, the uproar, the rioting, trying to say it's peaceful, and then blame the Trump administration for exacerbating the circumstances. Well, it's a pity that it's so political, but I mean, all the Trump administration is doing is enforcing federal law, and yes, they've brought in the National Guard to assist ICE because the state's not helping, so they pretty much have to at this point. Otherwise, it's a danger for the police, because there's a lot of rioters, a lot of crazy scenarios, and they really need the help for the safety of the officers. I'm sure those of you have seen some videos, and we're going to play some for you now of really what's going on, so just watch.
Their squad cars from North Hollywood Division.
So yeah, let's see what else ChatGPT has to say about that. These actions triggered widespread protests in downtown LA and nearby communities. Nature of protests. The demonstrations range from peaceful marches and civil disobedience to more volatile clashes, featuring tear gas, flashbangs, fireworks, property damage, arson, and looting. Of course, there's always those looters, gotta love them. Hundreds of protesters have been arrested and dozens injured, including law enforcement and journalists. Troop deployment and court battles. On June 7th, so this is literally the next day after the raid started, on June 7th, President Trump federalized the California National Guard, about 2,000 personnel, and by June 9th, an additional 2,000 were deployed, along with 700 active duty Marines under Title X orders to protect federal facilities. California leaders, Governor Newsom and LA Mayor Bass, the mayor who presided over the LA fires, who was literally out of town on vacation or probably corrupt business, was not there for the fires, but hey, she's got another chance to redeem herself here. A federal judge, or Mayor Bass, have condemned the move as unconstitutional, filing legal filings, which these have already been dismissed. The judges simply said, a California judge simply said, no, it's federal immigration law that the Trump administration is well within the rights to enforce. Good job there. A federal judge ruled the deployment illegal and ordered the Guard to return to state control by Friday afternoon, but a Ninth Circuit stay paused that decision, keeping troops and now Marines on the streets pending higher court review. Today, about 200 Marines have arrived, with more expected. They are not confined to protecting federal property and not engaging in crowd control or arrest. So essentially what's happened is the left is the party, the Democrats are the party of lawlessness. They want to protect illegals, they want to protect criminals. They do not want to protect American citizens. They do not care about America. They care about the image. They want to look like they are for all people, when in fact they are doing so at the expense of law-abiding American citizens and law-abiding immigrants who have came here legally, who are just as much. This is a losing issue for the left and for the Democrats, because it's a 70-30 issue as far as should the immigration law be enforced. The only area where there's some gray is, and this is where it's still a winning issue for Republicans and the right, is should non-criminals or non-violent criminal people be deported if they've got family here, etc. That there's some room up for discussion there. But there's always going to be some people that are maybe not violent criminals that are going to be caught up in these raids and deportations. Everyone's wearing masks. What do you expect? But essentially, this is a situation that has been brought on by decades of not enforcing the law in California. And, this would happen in any sanctuary city and may be happening in other sanctuary cities soon. This is what happens when you have incompetent, left-leaning, liberal Democrat leaders like Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass, who just refuse to enforce the law. They pick and choose the laws they like and enforce them for whom they like. It's laws for those that they do not like, but, typical left-leaning politician, the laws don't apply to me. Honestly, I think Trump would be within his right to arrest Gavin Newsom at this point. I know Gavin Newsom wants to be arrested. He wants to be made to look like a martyr here. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens there.